because there's a lot of other things from Illuvium going on. One of the newest things we just got was the announcement of Beyond Wave 4. So I don't see an exact date, but I did see May. So we're what mid? Actually, we're getting to the end of March now. So Beyond Wave 4, we should be getting that within the next 2 months. And I don't think either of you are as big into it as I am. I've still been on that top 100 leaderboard pretty much since the beginning of Beyond in general. So I plan on sticking around. I'm excited for this. I think it's actually or I don't think I'm pretty confident it was the biggest revenue driver for Illuvium, more than the actual overworld. So I think this is good for Illuvium. Not that we want to be looking for ways for Illuvium to just extract money, but for the people who want to be involved, Beyond is a good way to start bringing in more revenue and getting people a little bit more excited about things. But then there's a lot of other things going on too. Like right now, I feel like this is already old news, but we have the new fuel, so getting rid of the 3 fuel system. We have drone runs coming. We got the 2 new game directors started just recently. I don't know if it was this week or the past week.
They've been around for a couple of weeks. I think I don't know if you guys watched the what's it called, Going Hyper with Dick today.
No, I didn't see that one today.
Yeah, Steven mentioned that he's been around for 3 weeks now. So they've been around for a minute. I say a minute, but a short minute.
Yeah, I saw Rich make some tweets about how he I think I just saw this earlier this week where he had a chat with one of the guys for the first time, and seems like a great guy. Seems like he knows what he's doing and he's going to get things going. So that's exciting to see too. And I don't know when we're going to get this MMO light or anything coming, but
it'll take some time. It'll take some time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm hopeful by the end of this year, though. We want to get it before, I don't know. I don't think we want to get into 2026 with it. But
depends what else we get. If we get mobile, I think people are happy to wait for MMO. Like if we get mobile arena.
That's true. I say this all the time, but I would play so much more arena if it was on mobile, if it was on my phone or on my iPad.
It feels like, look, this is just, I would much rather they be patient and release a polished product than fall into the whole, oh no, we want to buy 2025 because Najib says so. Like, look, just we're fallen to that before, and we've seen the consequences of that. So I think, look, you guys hold the power as the studio, as the guys that have the product. Don't fall for it and push it out because everyone's screaming for it. I understand, but it'd be much better to have a polished product and say, hey, look, hold off. Let us get you something that we know 1,000% you guys are going to be rocking with, rather than an act of desperation of, okay, we need to appease these guys. I'm happier to wait than see a half-baked product.
As long as we're getting updates. As long as we're getting updates in other parts of the ecosystem, like Beyond Wave 4, then there's a Beyond Wave 5 that's going to come eventually, probably later this year. After that, I don't know what happens to Beyond, because then we're already waiting for a new set of alluvials to come out, which I don't know when that's going to come. But yeah, as long as things are feeling fresh, the MMO light, as much as I want it as soon as possible, like I'm siding with you. I'd rather it just be polished and put out the right way. Paz, what are you seeing with all this news? Or go ahead, Taran, if you got more.
No, Paz, go for it, man.
Yeah, I wanted to say I agree with you guys. I think the biggest problem for Illuvium came from rushing things because the community was impatient, which feels so bad in hindsight, right? We should have just waited a bit longer. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, it's done, but I hope we learned from it. We learned one thing, to focus on one game at a time, which is good to see already. And the next thing that Illuvium hopefully has learned is to not get rushed by the community, or not to try to appease them and please them so much as we used to do. It helps that the community is smaller now, and we can just say, hey, we don't really can make decisions just based on you guys' opinion. We also have to make decisions just for the future, for the best of the project, even if it burns people in the short term, which we have seen with the fuel proposal, which could have been handled better. But just things like this, where it hurts holders, but it's the best for the project in the long term. It's hard to do, but I think Illuvium is doing this now when it needs to be done, which is nice to see. I think it makes me hopeful for the long-term future.
Yeah, and so as Judge says here, the problem wasn't rushing things. The problem was just a bad game. But to me, I think about it like if the game never came out, or not never came out, if it was delayed, then I don't think we would have known that it was. I don't like calling it a bad game, but I think putting it out there was how it exposed the issues. So instead of them working longer on the game and then putting it out there,
Look,
I'm on the side of like getting it got out there. We found the issues, and then those issues are being worked on.
But I think there's
That's
a better way to do it. Sorry, Pat. Like, I'll just say this and then jump in. But I think there's a better way of doing it rather than, okay, putting the game out and then, oh, no, it's bad. There are things that we could do in terms of putting it out as modules, putting out like, hey, this is one aspect of the game. This isn't the game yet. Like a beta test. Putting out certain aspects of it and say, hey, give us the feedback on this. How can we improve this section of the game? Get that more polished, then give out the second section. So that way investors, players are still have access to what we're building and what's going on without it kind of saying, hey, the game is now live. Oh shit, it's not what we thought it was going to be. So I think there are solutions to it. And I think it's in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not just as like keeping it away 100%. Personally, that's what I would do, but I understand that we're in a different space. You can't do that. So I think putting it out in modules of like, okay, cool. Let's say combat is a thing that's being worked on. Let's show the community where combat is when it's ready to test out just combat, and then we put out a progression. Okay, what are some of the things that we think are working? What are the things that aren't working? And you start to build it up slowly. Okay, start adding a little bit of the economy, and you say, hey, this is the economy. These are the taps, the faucets. These are some of the drains. This is how the inventory is. Like, well, what do you guys think about this? And so I think we can find that middle ground where we're not saying the game is live, we're publishing the game, but putting it in little modules of, hey, this is what we've done. This is an aspect of it. Test it out. Give us the feedback.
And that's exactly, I think, the problem and the core essence what went wrong with also the community engagement and everything, and why the community got so impatient and so toxic at times to like, just put it out, give me the product, like I can't wait anymore. Because we had 24/7 over years access to beta tests, which is not a proven concept. It's just bad. Like usually you should have beta weekends, beta weeks or something like this, but you shouldn't have access for the game for years while it is in development. Everybody got so married to it. They got so like, it felt like we had the game already. So just release it. We're already playing it. And you kind of lose the touch. It's the same like, I guess with like people that your kids, you don't see them grow up that fast. But if you then meet other people's kids after 2 years, they're like, holy shit, they grow half a meter. Like you don't realize what's actually changing, and you don't have a really good feeling for the game anymore if you're testing it every day, basically, it's not testing anymore. Instead of what Terran says, you give the community like new features to test and then really get better feedback and can realize, oh, this is good, this is bad, and stuff like this. I don't think the games were bad. I think Overworld, okay, it wasn't like, we kind of forgot that it's not that fun to play because we're so used to it. The grind is not so fun. But Arena was just rushed. Like Arena with the Alpha Gauntlet, that was the worst thing we ever did, in my opinion. It still hurts my heart to realize how in what state we brought our Gauntlet, and it should have never went to the public that way, I think. And yeah, if Arena waited a bit longer, I think this could have made a big difference. But Overworld, I agree. We needed to learn the hard way.
I think Overworld, the economy was just flawed. Like I think there's no doubt about it. Like if you understand the game design of economy with the taps, the faucets, and things like that, the drains, it just like it was just flawed. So I don't think that was rushed. I think it was just a flaw. Like I understand what they were trying to go for. And the thing is, I spoke to someone about it. It potentially could have worked if Gauntlet and Arena was hyper polished, but the issue was it wasn't. So then the gamified pack opening, like as a standalone game, didn't stand on its own two
I
feet.
also think I think it could have worked if it was launched in like 2021 too. When like we all found out that Axie Infinity was a flawed system too. The economy didn't work. But for a good 6 months, it pumped up like crazy. So like I think Illuvium could have seen that same pump if they launched during that bullish time, but like it launched in the middle of the bear market pretty much. But Paz, I do like what you were saying about having like weekend beta testing rather than it just being open all the time. Because I'm seeing other games do that now. There was just the one Hero Wilds that I played where it had like a 2 week beta test, and then you haven't been able to play after that. Everybody was focused on playing for that 2 weeks, and then now the team takes all that data that they got and everything they learned from it, and now they're working on it for the next beta test.
Well,
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds did it really well, where they had a couple of weeks of beta testing well before the game came out. Again, like what I said, hey, this is the starting tutorial. Test out the combat, see what we can do, see what works well, what can be improved. They made those changes. So I mean, it's not a foreign concept to do it in that way.